Hi, folks. It is Q&A Thursday. We are here again. Lori Hollander.
Bob Hollander, we're back.
Yes.
Yes, always lots to talk about. Lots going on with couples.
Yes.
All over the place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, in our newsletter, we have been talking about change and can people change.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had somebody email me a question. She is in a relationship with a man who's in his early 40s. She's in her late 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And this man has a history of having had a lot of sexual relationships with different people. He has had some kink sex, and he's explored a lot, and he now wants to get into a serious monogamous relationship. This woman is monogamous and wants a monogamous relationship, and even though he says those words about wanting to change, she's very, very anxious about trusting him.
Right.
And so that was her question, can people really change? So actually, there are some other details she told me, that this man that she's with has been extremely open and transparent with her, and has really answered any questions that she wanted to know. And they have done a tremendous amount of talking and dialoguing and getting to know each other. And so, one of the things that I want to share is that those are signs that you can trust somebody. Transparency, being genuine, being authentic. And so, people can change if they are at a point in their life where they want something different.
Yeah. I think a lot of times men not a lot of times, I think all the time, men want a deep, loving relationship, and if they have that, there's no reason to go outside if it's they're getting all their needs met emotionally, physically. And I think that we start out wanting that's one special person where we can love and we can get an admiring look and validation back to us. It's what we search for. And now a lot of times in our history we shut down because we might have been rejected, and we will go off and not really allow ourselves into that deep place.
Yeah.
But here's a guy, it seems like there are very concrete indications that the part of him that wants a serious, close, monogamous relationship has emerged finally,
right,
after being tucked away, and it's almost like he's going to make that leap and take that chance in this relationship. So it seems like this guy is ready. I know for myself, I was not ready for a long time.
That's right.
Until
you met me.
Yeah, and I just happened to be ready. Or you're the right person.
I know, at the right time.
Because we were talking deeply.
Yes.
And it was growing, and I was realizing I was approaching a part of me that really wanted to manifest in a relationship.
And what makes it more difficult for this woman is that her ex-husband cheated on her. So she's especially sensitive. So the guy that she's dating is being sensitive to that and giving her a lot of reassurance.
Yes, and the guy needs to encourage her, if she's feeling that way, to express that. Because when she expresses that, and he knows it's really not him but so much in her past, that is a time when connection is even strengthened even more. So you want to allow that, you want to bring it forth. You don't want her to bury these feelings, you want him to invite that into the relationship.
And I was just listening to an audiobook by Brene Brown, B-R-E-N-E, Brown.
Right.
She is a wonderful best-selling author, and her book, I believe it's called Daring to be Vulnerable. And it was beautiful. And one of the examples she gave about trust was that growing trust is like putting marbles in a jar. You put in one at a time, and it takes a long time for that jar to get full, but you have to be vulnerable and take that chance in order to build the trust.
Yeah, I always felt the most powerful thing in our relationship is your vulnerability.
Oh,
And in any relationship, and when I'm vulnerable,
yes.
it like moves mountains in relationships.
Yeah, because there's a real feeling of being present.
Right? And heard.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yep.
send us your questions to info@relationshipswork.com, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.